Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. You're at the spot, the place, where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on because the conversation starts now. Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. You are back at the spot, the place, where the conversations are pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Today, we are going to visit with Yuka Simmons, and she is down in Florida. This woman is going to talk to us about money mindset. I wish she could do this in Japanese like she does some of her other ones. But it's about the emotion around money. It's about living from going from a sense of lack to a sense of abundance. What she has learned in her decades of work as an accountant, what she has also learned and had to overcome a sense of lack, but also the flip side was living in abundance. So there was a mixed message there, finding yourself. So I want to welcome her to the show. Yuka, tell us a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
Thank you so much. So I am a life coach slash money coach. I'm on CPA background. I've been in the corporation for a long time. The COVID converted me into life coach out of necessity. Do you guys all remember the tough time during the
Yeah.
COVID? That was my force of, okay, Yuka, need to learn about you so you can be better mom to your son.
Well, I think that you're doing a wonderful job. And let's get into it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's that long. I think 3 years is plenty to get to the place where you're gonna learn to be like, this is my new habit, this is my new identity.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of the time for me was wasted because I didn't uninstall my old belief.
Mm.
Like I would go like, oh yeah, that's my new dream, and then I'll start taking action, and then something stops me, and I can't explain it because those things are so stupid. Like as soon as I want to do the outreach, I'm gonna start cutting pineapple.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
like
yeah, it's about again, it's the discipline and the focus.
yeah.
And
But
so
where
something is distracting. So there's something, again, like I said, that you need to uncover and discover,
mhm.
because that is what is causing the disconnect there.
Yeah. So I discovered subconscious is one of the things that's very beneficial to study.
Well, your subconscious,
Yeah,
right?
because we have our brain wants to, like, we enjoy progress. That's where we get the joy. However, we also don't want to change because we have a hunter and gatherer mentalities.
Right.
We can't help that. So it's always a battle between those two, and some people call it angels and devil.
It is, but people are not aware of how powerful
Mhm.
the subconscious mind.
Oh
They're
yeah.
stuck in believing that everything is through the frontal lobe. And
Mhm.
that's, to me, that's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's after the fact. Everything
Yeah.
that you are utilizing in your frontal lobe is of something that you have already processed and
Hmm.
manifested from your subconscious.
Yeah.
And there's 4 or 5 people running back in your subconscious that you have never even connected with.
Yeah.
So, with your coaching and with your self realization,
Hmm.
what have you found the results to be? Because, and what I'm saying is not that everyone's going to be this multi-millionaire, uh,
Hmm.
but they are understanding how to position themselves when it comes to their finances, not
Hmm.
be afraid of it,
Hmm.
not overthink it, but understand that it is a form of energy and a form of exchange. What have you uncovered?
So the biggest win for me is that I am now focused on abundance rather than lack.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a super big on the lack mentality, like, oh, I have to do this. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. Like, I don't have enough of my skill. I don't have enough, whatever, whatever. And when you come from that energy, everything you create is lack of something.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to uninstall that to take the control back. So now I see a lot of things I received. So I talk about my $100 bill speech,
Mhm.
which is I gave you $100 because I feel like this is worth more.
Mhm.
And people focus on how much they spend, but I received more than $100 worth. That's otherwise I wouldn't pay for it.
Right.
Otherwise I wouldn't emotionally agree to pay for it.
Right.
So
But
I
you said
received.
something, I'm sorry, you said something in one of your other lives that was very fascinating, is that
Oh.
you don't spend a lot of money on, frugal things. You spend, like clothing and
Mhm.
restaurant, but you spend on things that are more valuable to you. How do
Yeah.
you assess your value?
For me, I'm not an artist. I grew up in a corporations. So I like communication, verbal communication. It's in the word as a package because that's the only way I comprehend. In order for me to understand what I like and what I don't like, I need to put that in the word.
Hmm.
Put my emotions into word. That's what I think one of my life, I don't know if you come across, but one of the live I talk about how to review receipt.
Hmm. No,
And
share that with us.
oh sure. So not not to review the receipt to see where you can save money, but um so we spend the money based on our emotions no matter what, no matter how your frontal cortex justifies it. It's
Right.
our emotions for spending it. So the question I ask when I'm looking at the receipt is what emotion was I going for when I was making the purchasing decision? It
Hmm.
could be carrots, it could be kale, it could be meat, it could be gas, it could be,
Right.
but what emotions am I trying to get to?
Hmm.
And then I ask myself, what's the percentage of satisfaction I get out of that purchase? And
Okay.
and so it could be so like usually for the food, depending on the time, but I usually write something like, I know this is gonna fuel my energy. I
Okay.
feel satisfied to spend this much money for this quality, and I can see the picture of my son being happy when I cook something like that, right?
Right.
And then I get the comfort of having like enough water in here and things like that. So I'm going for comfort. I'm going for satisfactions. So how much, like let's say I only get satisfied 80%, and then my next question is, what can I do to improve that 20%? So what you're doing is you are training your brain to think for the best solution, best way. Like what can you give me a joy? What what give me a joy
Right.
in into a word?
Right.
So I had typed them up, and occasionally I put all those. I track that in a Google Sheet.
Hmm.
So I
Well,
would.
I'm gonna tell you something, Yuka.
Hmm.
You're doing too much work. No, I say that with love because yesterday
Hmm.
I was out with Mr. Magnificent. That's what I call my husband.
Ooh.
And we were shopping. I took him out. We do a love date every week. So I said, I'm gonna take you, we're gonna go far away from the house. We're gonna have this love date. And there was a beautiful outlet. So he says, come on, baby, let's walk the outlet. And I was there and I saw a purse and I saw a wallet. I saw two or three workout outfits. I saw two or three new gym shoes. And I said,
Hmm.
oh, I couldn't decide what I wanted. And you know what he said? Get it all. And and I sat there at the counter and I was like, it was just so easy for him to, just get whatever you want. Just get whatever you want.
Oh yeah.
Then I think back to what you just said.
Hmm.
What joy does that really give me? Because I'm gonna tell you, when I look in my closet, I wear 20% of my clothes 80% of the time.
Hmm.
I don't wear all of these clothes. I work from home. I'm in my studio.
Yeah.
Or I'm going out. I'm 63 years old. I'm not getting up, going to the office. I'm not hanging out at the club.
Hmm.
So again, what satisfaction did it? And it was very whimsical. It was very wasteful. But then I
Hmm.
said, you know what? The energy and the exuberation and the exhilaration that I felt
Yeah.
when I put on that sweatsuit and put on those tennis shoes, I wore it today, yesterday. And again, I had to do that because I was a very wasteful shopper. Then I had to tell myself, okay, if I'm going to buy something, it's going to be cost, wear per cost. So if I buy something for $100, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
wear it at least 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get my cost per wear out of it. So I
Mm-hmm.
understand what you're saying. What fulfillment, what emotional attachment do you have to your spending habits, to
Yeah.
your wealth? But that also goes back to your self worth.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot
Well,
of people value their self by that.
mm-hmm. Well, so a lot of people have a vague idea of what gives us joy, but never put it down into a sheet of paper or on the computers. So what I use is I use that as a tool to identify what my joy is because I grew up so thrifty.
Mm,
Saving money was my joy. Like I'm a kid, I used to be a kid that if I get an allowance, I go straight to the bank and deposit it so I won't use it.
wow.
But so then studying my receipt, I'm noticing I get more joy when I go for a shopping that are not necessary.
Hmm.
Let's say, okay, I usually buy this same meat, but let me splurge and buy this one, and I get so much joy out of it. So to me, that's more valuable. But I didn't know that about me until I started to look at it myself.
Okay, but you said a sense of lack.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't grow up with a sense of lack. Where did that come from?
Oh, I did grow up with sense of lack. My mother become had a cancer now because she grew up so poor. She was worried about the money. While I was growing up, my father was doing very well, so we had enough money, but she doesn't feel that. She went back to her default of starting to worry about the money again, and that made
Mm,
her sick. I grew up with it. I inherited that.
okay. Are you
Hmm.
the only child?
No, I have two younger brothers.
Now, and what is their, just overall, are they frugal? Are they, whimsical? Are they
Say
practical?
they're frugal. They're frugal. They are very free. But yeah, I get that from my mom. I think my brothers got his money, their money value from my dad.
Okay. So you save a boatload of money. For
Uh-huh.
what?
For what?
For what? People save money. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's like I was talking to, I just went and got my taxes done. Huh?
Oh, okay.
And I was okay. I have to pay, but
Mm-hmm.
I figured I said I must be doing good because I have to pay.
Yeah, you got to pay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you got to pay. But
Mm-hmm.
along those same lines, why do I have to uh, save all this money
Mm-hmm.
and continue to pay taxes on it? When
Mm-hmm.
is the spin down? You have these families that want to have generational wealth.
Uh-huh.
They want to pass it down to their children for the kids to trick off. They
Yeah.
never enjoy a good vacation. They
Mm-hmm.
never have a good experience. They never buy themselves a pair of shoes to
Mm-hmm.
leave it for someone else. I'm
Yeah.
not about that. I told
Mm-hmm.
my daughter, I want you to enjoy your inheritance while I can see you enjoy it,
Yeah.
while I can help you manage it, while
Mm-hmm.
I can help you deviate and divide it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be here or die, and then you get an inheritance, and then that inheritance will, in turn, uh, ruin you. You'll lose it, or you'll
Yeah,
let
you
someone
wouldn't know how to
manipulate
use it.
out of it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know how to
Yeah.
use it. But
Yeah.
along those same lines, I need to enjoy it too. I need a good
Mm-hmm.
vacation. I need to do what I did
Oh, yeah.
yesterday and just go buy some stuff that I really didn't need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do we create a balance?
Well, you need to, first of all, I think you have a good point. You need to see those as an asset. Like you said earlier, it provides you energy, it provides you a joy, it provides you with multiple times of wear. So that become asset. I used to see those things as an expenses.
Hmm.
I used to save out of scarcity mindset, meaning like I'm worried if I don't have enough.
Hmm.
Now I save it because I have a dream that I want to one day buy a catamaran and sail. I'm a sailor, so
Oh,
sail around the
wow.
world. That's a very expensive dream to fund, so I save. But I also save for, I know if I save this much, I am okay for at least a year, me and my son. So purposeful saving is very important. But if you're saving just because I'm worried about it, then it's kind of poisonous because you are creating stagnant energies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And if you live like this, where you don't give and you don't receive, money is energy. It needs to be fluid. It's like water. It needs to flow. It needs
Hmm.
to flow. It will recycle itself. It repurpose itself if you're smart. I remember I tell this story all the time. I was broke as a joke. And I wrote my money
Oh,
a love letter.
that's very cute.
And in the letter, I explained to it how it made me feel, my sense of lack, my sense of determination, what
Hmm.
I was going to be able to do, how painful it was not to have these things, how I couldn't sleep at night.
Hmm.
And the oddest thing happened. I turned the page over and money wrote me back,
Oh,
Yuka.
good.
And it said, I am only a vehicle of exchange. I only have as much power as you give me. I
Hmm.
only have the value that you place on it.
Hmm.
And I have that letter to this day. And I tell you, from that day to this one, I have been financially free
Hmm.
because I understand how to position it, how to look at it, and
Hmm.
not worship it. You
Yeah.
can't worship an inanimate object. It's no more than any other piece of paper that's on your desk.
Yeah. They cost you 8.6 cents to print.
Yeah,
$100 bill. It's based on the trust that's
it
being
is.
circulated. Yeah.
But let's ask you this new thing,
Hmm.
because cryptocurrency.
Ah, I don't touch that.
Okay,
Okay.
you don't. Okay, and that's why we can have this conversation.
Okay.
Uh, I believe in it. I believe in it because it is a new world order. It is a new
Hmm.
philosophy. I'm not talking about the scamming. I'm not talking about, the gambling. Everything is a gamble.
Hmm.
Fiat currency is not backed by anything in the United States anymore. There's
Hmm.
no gold. I heard the president say one time, "Oh, I can't wait to go into Fort Knox." Well, honey, you're going to be disappointed because there's nothing in there.
Hmm.
And so people continue to do that. But the economic structure, finance, the way that it moves, is
Hmm.
going to have to change with the 21st century, with the 22nd century. It
Hmm.
cannot remain the same. Again, like you said, they're printing money every day.
Hmm.
Who in the world can be $38 trillion? I don't even know where to put the comma and the decimal point. And that it
Right.
does not make sense to me.
Hmm.
And if somebody calls in the marker, what are we going to do? Where this blockchain, I like that because it's more peer to peer and
Hmm.
there's a psychology. It's global, it's universal. The
Hmm.
value is just like fiat. It's no more than what we put on it. It's
Hmm.
how we build the infrastructure. So I have really been doing the back end research on cryptocurrency, not
Uh-huh.
so much the trading of this coin or that coin. It's not that. It's the whole psychological principle. The
Hmm.
Chinese developed the dollar bill as a form of a receipt for goods and services. So
Uh,
that is where the money came from to begin with. And then it took on a different currency. So I understand what you're saying, but I also understand that it has to change. And you say you don't touch it, but what do you think about the philosophy of currencies overall?
it's the same thing. It's based on it's running on the trust you put in the money.
And the banking systems.
Well, banking system and also the receiver end and provider end. Like all of this is trust basis. And on top of that, we use emotions to support that transaction.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And see, that's what with fiat paper
Hmm.
currency that we have now, is that it goes through too many hands. There's a fee. I put my money in the bank. Okay, I'm
Mhm.
taxed when I get. I get taxed. Then I take the rest. I go put it in the bank. Then I go to get some money out to get groceries, and there's a fee on my credit card. I go to
Mhm.
get some money out for this to buy gas. There's a fee. Now if you pay cash, there's one fee. If you pay card, there's another fee. All
Mhm.
these transactional fees for my money. What I have seen with cryptocurrency is that it's peer to peer.
Mhm.
I have the catamaran, you want to buy it. Okay, boom, boom. That's it. I don't need to go through XYZ bank. I don't need to get the currency converted. I don't
Yeah.
need to pay the taxes on that because
Mhm.
it's not theirs, it's mine. Who
Mhm.
wants to buy it? You. That's what I like about it. And also the blockchain is the
Mhm.
fact that once you do this transaction, it cannot be edited, it cannot be deleted, it can't be removed. It is in this blockchain, a series of transactions. That's what
Mhm.
I like. People can alter a ledger anytime,
Very
be it
true.
the bank, be it your accountant.
Yeah.
Again, I was with, but we were with our tax person today,
Mhm.
and I had some questions for her. And she goes, "Oh, okay, this, that, and the other." I said, I like you, but I'm not overly comfortable with anybody.
Uh-huh.
I mean, did you see the Bernie Madoff story?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. People can manipulate you. They don't look at the receipt. She goes, "Yeah, I know. There's a lot of tax preparers or tax accountants or CPAs that don't sign the document. Why don't you sign the document? Because you don't want the paper trail." So we have to be careful with that too, because that's a part of the emotion.
Mhm.
I saw all those people, during 1929. My
Mhm.
mother has a scarcity and a sense of lack. She was born in 29. She said, "Oh, she says, my mother was telling me the year I was born that people were jumping out of the window, that they had such deep emotion to the money
Mhm.
that established their self-worth."
Yeah.
I don't know if I can take it to that level. I want to enjoy it, but I want to maintain it and I want to be responsible for it.
Mhm.
It's just a lot. What are you seeing that people's biggest fear about money and investing money? Because they'll have it, but you're getting 1%, 2% in a regular account. Okay, I don't want to do the stock market because it's risky. It's a gamble. Well, you put it
It's
in
the
there.
scarcity mindset.
Wow.
It's the scarcity mindset, tighten, holding on to you. Like you can't, this is dangerous. You can't go there. But that's also the relation, your relationship is money, but also the relationship is yourself.
Hmm.
Because the relationship is with your money, or relationship is the receipt, or relationship with your son, or relationship, whatever is basically your self-worth towards you.
But you know what, too? People are afraid to
Oh
have
yeah.
money, too. Now,
Mm-hmm.
there's very rich people, you know, that are afraid of the money. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, I watch some YouTube videos at night and they say, don't be afraid of the comma. Don't be afraid of the money because in actuality, it is
Uh-huh.
all an illusion.
Yeah.
It's all an illusion. Like I said, these $38 trillion, I
Mm-hmm.
can't even begin to imagine
Mm-hmm.
what 38 trillion could look like and to be in debt for that amount and to continue to ratchet
Right.
that up. So yeah, there
Mm-hmm.
is a scarcity mindset. But what do you say to the person that's living in the head of abundance?
And then not being aware of abundance.
Yeah, well, no, they're living in abundance.
A
You know,
lot of people are living in abundance and not be aware of it.
mm. And the abundance is just not your dollars and cents. It
No,
is your heart, it's your soul, it's your passion, it's your family, it's your desires. That is what true abundance is. Wouldn't you agree?
yeah, I do. So I know a lot of unhappy rich people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they believe their old belief is that if I get that much money, I'm gonna be happy. So they work so hard to get there, and once they get there, the view doesn't change. But what you have to address is what you want to get when you get there, and then you need to live that instead of ignoring everything to get until I get there.
And how bitter it makes you, like in a divorce. Oh, folks get ugly over the money.
Mm-hmm.
And they also, I say this, I've seen it more in women than in men. You don't know where the bodies are buried. You are totally ignorant to what, and ignorant just means not knowing. I have to justify that because people, oh, I'm not stupid. You just don't know. You
You
don't
haven't
know
decided.
what is in a 401k. You don't know what the investments are. You don't know if your name
Mm-hmm.
is even on the deed of the property.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to start all over again because now you consciously uncoupled or you separated and you have to rebuild that. And a part of that rebuilding is your momentum, the control of the other person, the manipulation of other people.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I told my husband I've been married to him 41 years and I absolutely adore him.
Mm-hmm.
But if he ever woke up one day and said, you know what, this is not something for me, we got two chairs. You get one, I get one. And that's how I am. I could probably do a divorce, and I talk that shit now until it happens. But again,
Don't talk about it because you're healing it.
right. But
You
I'm
are
saying if
talking.
if that were the case,
Mhm.
that I would be able to let it go because I knew that I have the ability to regain it. So many
Mhm.
people don't have that belief in themselves that they can regain. They
Mhm.
think that, okay, this is it. I have, I'm not valuable anymore. I'm not worth it anymore. Do you
Mhm.
work with your client base? I know that you work with men and women, but do you find that there's more of a challenge in understanding financial literacy and the emotions around money with women versus men? Or is there a certain age, demographic? What are you finding in your work?
Men don't admit that they have issue.
Oh,
So yeah,
really?
my clients are mainly female, open,
Okay.
have ability to be vulnerable with me because they believe they may have passed on their issues to their kids.
Right.
And I tell them, and I believe this strongly, if you see issue in other people, you have it.
Hmm. Right.
So if you worry that your daughter is confused and you're confused, so let's address that. And so you inherit that from environment from your family too. Those
Right.
are more often caught than taught.
Right. So
And
it's epigenetic.
sort of, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So what have you passed on to your son? Because he's seeing you, right? Well, he's seeing where you were,
Oh yeah.
where you are, and where
Mhm.
you aspire to be. Where is he in all of that? What is your
So
observation?
yeah, so my beginning of all this, my career changes from the CPA to the money and life coach is starting from COVID when I had to yell at him because remember we were all forced to do the homeschool and remote work at the same time in a small sections of your house. And then I remember clearly the day I yell at him saying like, let me work. You not doing the homework, I can't care for 2, 3 hours a day. You need to do this. Let me work. And then I was like, why am I yelling at him? Like, why is he not my priority?
Right.
Then I realized, okay, so I still have anger in me.
Hmm.
Anger is a secondary emotion to the sadness or loneliness. So what do I have? Like it shows up as anger, but I was sad that my son is not independent, or I was lonely because nobody's supporting me. Like there's a lot of things. But so I started to get into like addressing my issues. And then I started to realize, why am I trying to make him into workforce? Like I was taught that. Like my dad worked from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day in Japan. That was semi-normal that age. And I
Right.
inherited that. Like my thing was like, okay, when you get out of school, you're gonna go work for a big company.
Right. Right. Right.
And my son is super ADHD. I was like, there's no way.
Right. but he can be this incredible entrepreneur
Yeah.
that communicates in a different way
Mm-hmm.
that will come up with something
Yep.
ingenious,
Genuine, yeah.
and
So,
that is authentic to who he is.
hmm so my journey started seeking who I really am. And I realized that I was hiding the answer from myself because I was scared to find out that I am not a superstar.
Mm.
You know,
You had
which
very high, okay, but you had very high expectations on yourself, I guess, because you had two polar opposites. You had your father, who was this hard charger,
hmm
disciplined, you know, Asian man, which is the culture,
hmm
got two sons and a daughter,
hmm
high expectations for the boys, not maybe so much for the girl. She'll do this. Well, no, I'm just saying as a culture, I'm
Yeah,
not saying
we were opposite.
yeah.
She
So,
expected too
that
much of me.
right. But then your mother is like, okay, honey, you have to save this. But did she have the mindset of saving? Maybe not, because you say
Oh yeah.
she's sick with the cancer, but saving for herself or saving for the family, saving for the legacy. What was her mindset about this not having enough?
So she saved for all of us kids
Hmm.
and then distributed to all of us.
Okay.
And her not enoughness was starting when my dad became entrepreneur
Hmm. Hmm.
and she didn't see the result. Like it was when he was working for a company that was he was in sales. So he
Okay.
was very well celebrated because he was really good. So they were going everywhere in the world for the award.
Hmm. Hmm.
So she doesn't feel that anymore. So she's like feeling alerted.
Hmm.
And then she went immediately back to when I grow up, my house didn't have enough money. Um, she loved studying, but all her friends went to the prep school and she didn't have money. So she went to join the youth group. That's actually where my parents met.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But,
good because there's a spiritual component to that.
oh yeah.
I saw that you had your Ash for Ash Wednesday. What does
Mhm.
faith do, and how does that play a part in what you're doing?
Oh, so faith is one thing I'm being constantly challenged because I grew up in Japan.
Mhm.
As you know, it's not a Christian nation.
Right, right.
But I grew up Christian because my parents met each other at the church, and that was like a natural things for them to do.
Mhm.
But so we used to have a 6 days of school when I was still going to school, and Sunday I go to the church and Sunday school. Come Monday, everybody in my class would ask me, "So I heard you went to church. Did you actually see Jesus?"
Oh, wow.
Like, sort of.
Wow, that's pretty snarky.
Yeah, but they were like serious, you
I
know?
say they were serious. I know.
Yeah. And then it's really hard for kids to comprehend like the God, the Father, the Jesus, and the Holy Spirit.
Right, right, right. Something existential outside of themselves.
Mm,
But what they have to understand is that's money too. It's
oh yeah.
existential. It's
hmm
outside of yourself. You can only control it so much as long as it keeps coming in. But
hmm
if you don't teach money how to work for you, not for it. I,
hmm
I was very fortunate growing up in South Central Los Angeles,
hmm
a Black kid with a stepfather and a mother that was taught financial literacy,
Good, very
taught
good.
about taught about bullion, taught about world currencies, not just the US dollar,
hmm
um, about investing. Yes, it's taking a risk, but stepping outside your front door right now is taking a risk.
hmm
You have to teach this inanimate object how to work on your behalf. Of
hmm
course, it's your risk tolerance, how much you're able to do, But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't do anything, it's going to be stagnant. It's never going to grow. It's never going to expand. You're never going to have that abundance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where people are really afraid. They're
Yeah,
really
no,
afraid that I'm not going to have enough. You may
yeah.
not have enough, but there's other resources. That's like me. I barter, and I bartered with this gentleman for his yacht.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to do a transaction. I was like, okay, so he gave me his yacht for 2 days. I don't want a yacht, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I want access.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
I know.
that's what people want sometimes. They want access. They don't want the actual liability. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of liability and responsibility to being rich. I'm looking at all these rich people, and they are, every time I see them on TV, they're getting sued for something. More money, more problems.
Mm-hmm.
How do you learn to live in an abundant mindset? How do you manage that in your head?
You have to first take control back to you and realizing your life is your responsibility. Because as we grow up in this culture, we surrendered our rights to think for yourself a lot of time because a lot of things are teaching you you have to do this, you have to do that, and oh, you can't be thinking that's too greedy, money is bad, blah blah blah. But oh yeah. So this is an interesting example. So I used to believe in church, not the God.
Okay.
Churches are people. They're
Right.
made of people, so they're skewed. So I didn't have a relationship with God, but with people practices.
Mm.
And so in there, I learned the money is evil. But the Bible doesn't actually say money is evil. Love of money is too much love of money is evil. But then Bible talks about abundance a lot of time. I didn't know that until I started to go to the source. If you're counting on other people's ideas and not going to the source and studying really hard and be clear about it and make it your own, then it gets scary because you're,
It's scary and it's dangerous
yes, it is.
because people will do anything for a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
My nephew was just murdered in December, and he was murdered for $80.
What?
$80.
Oh,
That yesterday I spent 103 for lunch. It wasn't even a decent meal, right? And you have to understand that this is a world of abundance. God made this world, source,
sure.
creator, however you want to define it,
Mm-hmm.
made this world so that we have more than what we need,
Mm-hmm.
more than we will ever be able to consume. But what do?
Mm-hmm.
We're greedy. Everybody's got to have this amount or that amount. You know, it's not shared equally. And that's all around the world. It's not just here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, really sad. It's really sad. And I think that when you, again, are in an abundant mindset, true abundance, I think that you are at peace, that you
Mm-hmm.
are calm, that you are level, and that you share.
Yeah, you become a giver.
You do become a giver. The
Mm-hmm.
more, I'm telling you, brains, I get goose pimples when I think about it, baby. The more you give, the more you're going to get. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you pour in your cup and your cup runneth over, that spillage is just not to be wasted. That spillage is to be caught up and to be
Shared.
shared with
Uh-huh.
somebody else.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's
That's what
beautiful.
that's it, with someone else. And
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to give them. Now, to be taken advantage of, you have to know your boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
No is a complete sentence. I know that there's people that feel a sense of entitlement based upon what you have or what I have. It doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't mind sharing what I have
Mm-hmm.
because it makes me feel good. Like I said, I had to pay taxes. No, I wasn't happy, but I am happy in a way because I know that I am paying into the greatest country in the world.
Yeah.
that I know that's a portion of this money, I can't say all of it, but is going to go for roads, schools, senior citizens, different
Hmm.
programs, food banks, all of these things. So the
Yeah.
money will go towards a good cause. But in
Hmm.
addition to that, it's like tithing. I give over in abundance. I saw
Hmm.
this young woman, she was laid out on the ground, and her skin was cold, her hands and feet were coal black, but she had the prettiest face I had ever seen. And it was hot that day. And I said, baby, are you okay? She could barely talk. She said, no, I'm hungry and I'm thirsty. You got one in my purse. And I gave her every dollar I had. And I know I had over $300 in my purse.
Hmm.
And she jumped up and she bobbed up and down and she praised God and she cried and she cried. And she says, now I can go take a shower. Now I can get a room for the night. She says, now I can go and see my kids. You don't know what that did to me as a person to be able to be the giver
Hmm.
of that. She didn't ask me for a dime. You don't have to ask. If you see someone in need, if you can, you give it to them.
Hmm.
When I came home, there was a check from a company that I hadn't probably dealt with in 10 years for
Hmm.
$5,000. And I was like, it came back to me 5 times.
Hmm.
5 times. So abundance is real. The philosophy and the psychology is real.
Hmm.
And the conversation that you have in your head, what you're saying to yourself, like you said, that's that emotional component.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't have enough, or I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this. That's exactly what you're going to get. But when
Yeah.
you change that conversation to,
Hmm.
I know that I'm worthy of this, and I know that I'm going to have that catamaran, and I know that I am going to be on it, and my son is going to be able to sell with me, and I know that I'm going to be able to take off a year. I already
Yeah.
see it, I taste it, I feel it.
Hmm.
Those things draw that energy. Do you
Oh,
believe
yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I teach people to visualize in the morning, fasting in the morning if you can, because it's so important to have a stronger image of that than and a less of image of lack.
Mhm.
But we are trained so hard to have a lack because that's what everybody else practices.
Right, right, right. And that's what everybody believes.
Hmm.
And it's all about your belief.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, you look at Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. All she had to do was believe.
Hmm.
And that's what you have again, that's what life is. It's all made up. That's what my mentor will tell me. She says, April, this is all a made up story. And what we are is we are the observers of our life. We are
Oh,
the
yeah.
overseers.
Hmm.
We are the seekers. We are the ones looking for that destination to find that destination. Like your picture on the wall behind you says, be the light.
Hmm.
Look for the light. Then I look on the other side and I see that you have your faith. And you're always surrounded. Really,
Yeah, yeah.
I look at the totality of people.
Hmm.
All these things is what's going to radiate. And that is why you have the abundance to pour into others. And I thank you for that. And I know
Oh,
that you're doing an amazing job.
I try. Try
It's
my
not
heart.
easy.
It is not easy. I daily try to surrender myself to be who I'm being created to. But I know my tendency is always pulling me back to what I've been practicing my 52 years of my life.
Right, right. Why
But
do you think that you're always drawn back to that?
that's years of training.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, what if I can, I recommend people to move or at least to have a new friends. That's what I did. Like I switched the church. I switched the place to hang out because I need to install the new mentalities.
Right, 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 right.
I seek the right circle of people so that I converse with those people, then it's more often caught than taught that I
Right.
catch the mental syntax of those people. That's really important. That's why I want to introduce that to people that come to me feeling I need to fix something.
Right. Well, let's ask you some fun questions before we
Uh-huh.
conclude our interview today.
Okay.
Where's one of the places that you want to sail to on this catamaran?
My partner and I are both sailor and diver. So one of the places I'm dying to go to is New Zealand, Great Barrier
Oh,
Reef. Um, Definitely the top of the somewhat the safer place to go to the
right.
yeah. And then the other place I'm dying to go is in Spain. Because
Mm,
when I went to Barcelona, I saw those beautiful bays and beautiful sceneries, and I have enough people who move over there after retirement.
right.
Like, I have reason to visit those people.
Well, I am not a person that's really into the water, but I have been able to snorkel in Cozumel and
hmm
also in on the island of Guam.
hmm
And there is a whole different life under the sea.
Oh yeah, there
And
are.
it's so beautiful. I mean, it's just mesmerizing.
It's completely different. I live in a very fortunate place where I have access to Leaf very close to here
Uh-huh.
in Jupiter, Florida. Leaf ends around here, but it's continue on to Key West.
Hmm.
And going underwater humbles me.
Right.
And
Right.
that's what I needed. Yeah.
Um, if you were an appliance in the kitchen, what appliance would you be?
Oh, what do I have? I have a stove, microwave, dishwasher, and refrigerator. Which one do I want to be? What's taking up the largest space is the refrigerator. So let me be that.
Okay, and why would you want to be a refrigerator?
Because I like to chill people.
Okay,
'Cause I
that's
have a
good.
chilling effect, yeah.
That's right. I think I'll be the dishwasher. I
Oh, you
change from
would?
time to time. I'd be the
Yeah.
dishwasher. I want to be somewhere that's hot and steamy, that's clean,
Oh.
that will dry you off, that will just work automatically, but also serve you and
hmm
make your life a little easier. I think I'd be the dishwasher. If you could have a conversation with a 25-year-old Yuka, what would you say to her or yourself?
What would I tell her? I would tell her that life is only going to get better. So relax and do what you want to do rather than what people tell you to do.
Absolutely.
hmm
You said that your son is has ADHD.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What do you say to a parent that is struggling work-life balance? They
hmm
want to be high achievers, but they also want to be there for their child, and they also want to be a good provider, but they're afraid. What would you have that conversation? What would you say?
I need all the parents of ADHDers to know their brain is wired differently.
Yep.
So forgive them and accept them as who they are. But what you can do, the best thing you can do is to watch their food
Hmm. Now,
because
I'm sorry, go ahead.
that that's what we can do.
Right. And you know what? I think the civilization is changing as a whole.
hmm
And with that, I believe that there are too many neurodivergent
Yeah.
individuals. I mean, people are realizing that they are neurodivergent in their 40s.
Oh
They
yeah.
wonder why I wasn't able to function at the job. Why was I always getting fired? Why was I always not completing tasks? Um, and I just think that it's a different way of communicating. I think that they are trapped or they're locked in something or somewhere that
hmm
we're not able to resonate. Maybe it is an alter, maybe it's a superior being. I I'm telling you, because I see people that are brilliant, and I'm sure that your son has tons of gifts and talents.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Very
he can,
smart.
yes, maybe he can draw, maybe he can sing, maybe he can play the piano, maybe he's great with mathematics, maybe he's great with science. But
He's tech savvy.
yeah, so there's something
Very.
there. There is something there. And as parents, what we have to do is learn to speak their language. just like love language. And it's not easy because they don't come with the template, you know, but patience, loving, wisdom, faith,
Hmm.
and understanding abundance. And that abundance is love, opening your heart to be
I,
able to
I,
receive something different.
if I have to tell everybody super out loud, I would tell them, don't let the school determine your kids because they're not equipped to handle everybody that are so different.
Mhm. And they want to lump them all together. All 9-year-olds have to pass this certain test at a certain point, or all 10-year-olds, but
Mhm.
everyone doesn't develop the same way.
No.
Allow their creativity. My
Hmm.
daughter, bless her heart, one day I came home, she had on ears and a tail. We're about to go out to dinner. I said, "What are you doing?" "Oh, we're going to go out." I said, "You're not going out to dinner with me looking like that." "Yes, I am. This is a part of my creativity. This is a part of who I am." I said, "You don't have ears and a tail." "Yes, I do." Oh, we went back and forth for about 30 minutes. I let her keep on the ears, but I had her to take off the tail. And look at her now. She's a sought out after costume designer and makeup artist. Because my husband said, dial back on that. Let her be who she is meant to be.
Hmm.
You cannot relive your life vicariously through your children.
Yeah.
You have to let them be, and it can be scary, parents. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
can.
It can be scary, and I recommend people to actually voice their emotions, not instead of saying like that's not acceptable to the world. You should talk about how you actually feel
Right,
because
right.
that is the fact that there's no way to be doubt. Your emotions needs to be voiced. You need to hear that, and they need to hear that from you.
But that's what people want now. They want to be seen, they want to be heard. So let me ask you a couple other quick
Hmm.
questions. If you were
Oh,
a
sure.
flower in the garden, what flower would you be?
Lily.
Oh, I can see you being a lily. I can
I
see you
love the
being a lily.
smell. I love the grace. I love the bigness.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're
Yeah.
beautiful. And what do you say to the person that is uh, struggling to just make ends meet? They what do you say to them to encourage them to keep going and know that there is abundance on the other side? Because you
Well,
create
before,
your own abundance.
oh yeah, before they get going, I would ask them this one question as to what you're working hard for.
Mm,
Because then the money may not be an answer that you're seeking.
right,
A lot of us get confused about the money and the goal, but the money is just a tool, like you said in the very beginning. Money is a vehicle. So where do you want to get to using that vehicle?
right. What is the end game?
Yeah, or
What
what
is the end
emotion
game?
you're trying to get to.
Right. And it's a moving target. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I found myself reaching, I'm a goal setter.
Mm,
Absolutely. I've always been a goal setter. I like the challenge. Um, and once I set that goal, I'm like, I'm at that point in my life right now. Okay, I'm 63 years old. What do I want for the next 25, 30 years? Do I want to just lay up here like lunch meat? Really?
mhm.
Or, what else do I want to see? What do I want to do? Who do I want to support? Where do I want to give? How do I want to leave a lasting imprint? And that's my last question for you, Yuka. What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want your imprint on this world to be?
I want to be a tool to free people. So I'm contemplating and writing book about it, about becoming free from being busy to free, because that's where my biggest challenge was. And one of the very simple question that I got that freed me was, does that matter in 5 years?
Right,
And then if it doesn't, just move on. Like let's say, okay, my son is called at the school from principal. Now, by the way, now I homeschool him because I told him 3 strike out. I'm not going to school anymore.
right,
I
right,
am not going to school anymore. So, but so it doesn't matter in 5 years.
Right.
Then don't sweat it. And that
And in
was,
all transparency, he's probably excelling more because you're allowing him to explore his creativity, be who he is at his pace, in his world that you understand, and not be ostracized, bullied,
let's hope so.
judged. I believe it. I believe it. I really do believe it. I've seen
Mm,
children that, been homeschooled. Their parents give them 2, 3 hours worth of instruction, and they're far more ahead than these kids that are in class
mm.
all day
Yeah,
because you understand, you speak his language.
yeah, as a principal, I get to talk to him about the schools. Like the school cares about how you voice your emotions. The school cares about how you're gonna meet the client's expectations. This principal cares about how you're gonna make money in the future. So keep coming up with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, tell my brains how to get in contact with you. I'd love for them to call you and talk to you and get their head around their money matters and their emotions around money so that they
Okay.
can reach their highest and greatest good. How do they
Okay.
find you?
So I am going to provide you my Linktree link.
Okay.
So I'm trying to be on a lot of social media. I try to come up with a landing page, but I couldn't decide on this is it. I'm actually right now creating this steps, the pinpoint step, because when you give too many tools, it's very confusing. But if you are focused on, 3 to 5 steps, easy to follow, that's what I'm working on. So I'm actually gathering the beta clients. So if anybody's interested in trying me out, so I can try my tool out, mutually discounted price, I
Oh,
think that would be very helpful. So I'm a human, so reach out to me. So that, yeah, I think I shared with you my link.
yes.
Um,
And I'm going to put all of your contact information at the back part of the interview because I want them to reach out, if nothing else, just to have a conversation.
mhm.
That's
Yeah.
where it begins.
Oh yeah.
It begins with a conversation, it begins with the knowing.
Hmm.
If you don't know what it is that you want, what the end goal is, what your desires, you can't make a plan. You can't set a goal. You
Hmm.
can't achieve it if you don't see it. Brains, I want you to go and love, like, share, and subscribe right here on the edge. Can you see that? I want you to connect with Yuka. I want you to have a conversation with her. Take advantage of her program, take advantage of her knowledge. She's a CPA, she's smart. Not only does she know the psychology behind money, but she can maybe give you some tips on how to manage your money even better. And
Hmm.
that's what's important. Teaching that vehicle how to move, how to be exchanged, but not let it control you or manipulate you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, brains.
Well, do you like the dragonfly? Like I've been noticing it.
I love the dragonfly.
That's a good luck in Japan. Yeah.